Today we're learning about the life cycle of a chicken. Hopefully you remember what a life cycle is. We have learnt about the life cycle of a watermelon that starts with the seeds. The seeds germinate, grow into small plants, and then those plants get big enough to have their own fruit that then makes seeds, and the cycle goes around. We've had a look at the life cycle of a tree where the seeds come from the flowers germinate, they grow up into a sapling, which is a small tree. That small tree grows into a bigger tree that gets big enough to make its own flowers that then turn into seeds, and the cycle continues. We also had a look at the life cycle of a human, where the baby grows up into a child, becomes an adult, that adult becomes an old person, and sometime while that adult is an adult, they can have a baby and the cycle continues. So today let's have a look at this life cycle of a chicken. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, I think today we'll start with an egg. So here's a picture of some eggs in a nest, and that nest is to keep the eggs warm. Here is a picture of the chick that has been breaking out of its shell. So you can see there that the little beak, it's just facing us. The chicken uses that beak to smash from the insides, crack open their egg and push themselves out. Then that chicken after a few days starts to look very cute like this, a little chick or fluffy, and that chick grows up and becomes an adult chicken. Now chickens, for the girls they're called hens, and for the boys they're called roosters. The hens will lay eggs and the cycle will continue. Now, why do chickens sit on their eggs? Well, there's a few reasons why chickens sit on their eggs. The main reason is to keep their eggs nice and warm. So you can see that this chicken has made a nest with all this straw underneath her, or maybe in the wild she might use grasses and twigs and things like that. So that's to keep the warmth from underneath, and then she sits on top to keep the warmth on top. It's just like at home when you're a baby, or even as a child now, mum and dad make sure that you've got clothes on to stay warm, and at night you've got a nice warm bed and things like that. So the chicken is just looking after her babies, which are still eggs. Now a chicken will also roll her eggs regularly so that the babies inside the eggs will grow properly. So by sitting on them, she's nice and close and can just roll them around whenever she needs to. And another reason that she needs to stay close is that the moisture from her feathers help the eggs form. Now a hen doesn't eat very often when she's sitting on her eggs. So she tends to go out in the morning when there's a bit of moisture or water on the grass. That gets on her feathers and then transfers back to the egg. And that's very important for the egg to grow and then hatch properly. Okay, let's have a look at some eggs in an incubator. An incubator is something that will keep eggs warm when it doesn't have a real hen there to do it for them. So you can see here's a picture from children from last year's kindergarten class. That red box is the incubator that keeps the eggs warm. And you can see that there's a green tub just in front of it. That's got water in it. We had to put our own moisture in because there is no mother hen there to do all of those things for us. So after a few days, those eggs started to hatch, and then we would transfer or move them over to the white box that you can see there, which would also keep the chicks warm. Here's a picture of the setup from a different angle. You can easily see all the eggs inside the incubator there. And the big white box will be set up with a warm light, and some straw will go on the bottom, and there'd be food there to feed them as well. And here's a picture of the incubator and one of the teachers having a look at the chicks as they're hatching. If you look really closely, you can just see that there's quite a few chicks in there that have hatched, and there's still a few eggs that haven't. All right, today your activity is to create your own life cycle of a chicken. This is somewhat what it should look like when you're finished. So start with a big piece of paper and cut it into an egg shape. It's much more fun if you do that. Okay, and then you can do a hand print there to make your chicken. If you don't want to get your hands dirty, just draw around your hand and colour it in. Don't forget to draw in the wings, the feet, the eyes, the beak, things like that. Then go and collect some straw or twigs or cut up some paper to make a nest and cut out a paper egg to put on top. Then cut out an egg shape, a bit bigger now, and draw in the area there where it's cracked from the chick trying to come through. And colour in that inside bit yellow because it's the chick trying to get through, and put some eyes and a beak on. Then you can cut out another egg shape and this time colour it yellow, and that can be the body of your chick. And put some wings on, a beak and eyes. You can draw the eyes on and put some feet on. Now don't forget to draw in the arrows that show the direction of the life cycle, okay? And then when you finish that, take a photo and put it onto our Google Classroom.